Hey guys, Battleblood here. This is one of those Ekbit matches that I just can't let go. I mean, this is not TPC 2.0 yet, where we've completely created new wizards, which is when those videos do come out, that's when the commentaries will be following. This is just one of those matches that I just cannot leave uncommentated. I mean, there's a lot more that's going on than meets the eye. So I figured I might add some insight to it so you can figure out what we're thinking during this match. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and load up the video that's posted within this link. Just click on this video itself and pause this video and just let the other one load and pause that one at 0 as well. So go ahead and pause right now. Okay, so I'm going to start a little countdown so we can start the video on the other page. So go ahead and bring up your window for the other video, and we're going to click play together. So hopefully your loading bar is loaded. You should have like a long gray streak across your video screen, signifying that this is how much has been downloaded for your browser. So we're going to count down from 5. And I guess when you hear the click of my mouse, go ahead and click your play button and we'll watch the video together. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we have the opening intros. We have Cassandra, Fallon, Ronan, and me showing up here, perfect catch. And then it transitions into the battle roster. So we have here John, Valdus, Victoria, and another Valdus. Both Valduses being death players. So when we found that, when we realized this is what we're running into, we realized, okay, there's going to be a lot of plagues, virulent plagues, and beguiles going around. Don't be, don't underestimate your opponents. I mean, as you can clearly see, their ranks are low and whatnot. They're not entirely warlords, but that doesn't mean that they aren't great players and whatnot. So again, don't underestimate your opponents, especially when you see them playing these kinds of styles right here. Already the virulent plague goes off, so they want to reduce our damage by 40%, making sure we can't, not all 4 of us can do a team combo and hurt their team sufficiently enough. John puts up the anti-stun, Valdus puts up some more resistance. Again, he's trying to reduce as much damage as possible. John's being their only damage dealer as a storm, Victoria being the recovery player, life player. Cassandra puts up some stun shields, I put up my conviction, Ronan puts up his stun shields. We don't know, we did notice that their life player had a myth amulet, so at any point she could throw out a blinding light and try to get to us. So we set these stun protections up. Meanwhile, for the second turn play, looks like they're playing some Blaze on the Death player. They're also played a smoke screen to break any other defensive combos we may have, whether it's shields or dispels or whatnot. So our main plan here against 2 Beguile is that, especially with an ice and a storm player, generally when elemental players do have 7 pips or 8 pips, it's usually a sign that they'll attack right away, but most warlords won't. Most warlords will actually hold on to their pips. And so our plan was that, assuming that they have 2 deaths and they can always send off beguiles at any point in time, we're going to go ahead and stick to single attacks until they do use a beguile. And so as you can see here, the second Valdus used the beguile on Fallon here. Fallon uses the lightning backs to get rid of not only the virulent plague but also a shield. So that, again, sticking to the single attack strategy works right there. Now we knew, okay, they played a beguile on us. That gives us a chance in this match now, because it will reverse the turn order. Now, unfortunately, Ronan did play up a smoke screen, but we were anticipating, hey, if they did not play a beguile on us, then we're in danger, because that storm had, I think that was a conviction on him. He might have been able to attack. The death player might have been able to attack along with the life player. We don't know what they're going to throw out. So that smoke screen was just a kind of a safety play. Meanwhile, Fallon's gonna go ahead and try to get rid of that smoke screen, and I am actually going to use my Frost Giant as a stun here from my position, so that'll at least get the last 3 players. The first player, John, he's only a Storm player, so we're assuming he might play a Storm spell on Fallon, if anything. I mean, if that smoke screen is removed off of him after I hit, he could play a Storm Dispel, he could weaken Fallon even further, something. So we're, we're kind of analyzing the battle during the animation and asking Cassandra to maybe find a cleanse in case he does try to dispel Fallon, because she will be able to hit soon, as you can see. Meanwhile, Ronan's gonna send up a I think it's a mantle. Oh no, it's a tower shield on top of Cassandra, I believe. No, actually it was a mantle on, my bad, on Valdus. And so Cassandra, I mean, as you can see, the turn order goes in such a way that Cassandra has to play last, so she's gonna go ahead and play that rebirth and heal everyone up. And if you don't understand Beguile, there are a few videos before. If you look up a PvP workshop video that we did, it also explains how Beguile works. So I mean, this is just a demonstration of how to play against it in a real setting, in an actual real battle where people are, trying to trying to win against you. So especially playing from second against Beguilers, not only, and again, Dispellers. So again, I remember at this point that Fallon really wanted to hit and try to use her pips before the other team could knock her out and, prevent her from utilizing any of her magic. But again, we don't know if they're going to beguile her and have her hit us, or dispel her, as you can see. And so we said, okay, we're just going to wait until more beguiles come, or when we're forced to actually set off some heals and whatnot. So Ronan had a beguile of his own, so we wanted to stop them and prevent them from being able to combo us. Now the Death player did have blades, or does have blades, so we played a beguile on him, making sure he can't beguile us, and therefore Valdus would be the only beguiler here. So we're going to try to wait for that. But the first Valdus does put up another blaze, so we're thinking, okay, this is great. He has possibly a gargantuan scarecrow coming at us at some point. Meanwhile, second Valdus is going to weaken us even further. Cassandra doing a nice job. I feel a lot of gratitude towards her with those stun shields right there, making sure I can move in case they try to stun me. And Ronan's going to go ahead and set up the smoke screen as a safety once again. So at this point we're expecting, hey, John's going to try to dispel Fallon through the smoke screen. So Fallon again is going to get rid of that Virulent Plague with that Storm Elf on top of the set it on the Life player who has a Storm Shield. So she's going to get 2 items in one right here, the Virulent and the Storm Shield. Meanwhile, Ronan does play a blade on Fallon right here, and I am going to play a beguile on the last player, on their Death player, making sure he can't beguile us as well. And so not only am I putting the beguile on the very last player, would that prevent the other 3 players on his team from doing any AoEs, because if John, Valdus, or Victoria does play an area attack or an area heal, it will or will not affect Valdus. If it's a heal, it won't heal him. If it's an attack, it'll hit the very last Valdus. So kind of buying ourselves time here, knowing that, hey, they've stacked up 2 blades so far. They've got a Storm that's building up pips, getting closer and closer to another Storm Lord. They have a Life with a bunch of pips. She can throw out a Forest Lord, and this other Death is going very offensive, as you can see. So Cassandra's setting up the Storm Dispel on the first player. He cannot be cleansed, and then Ronan doing a nice job with another Black Mantle on top of Valdus, making sure that those 2 cannot do anything to us. Meanwhile, Victoria and Valdus will be able to do something. So again, trying to buy ourselves enough time. Fallon is going to go ahead and use a Leviathan. Again, she was worried that she won't be able to get to use her pips should anything happen. So she tries to do a smoke screen, and that Storm, she actually has, Victoria actually has a Storm Shield pet. And so that little storm tag right there set up an 80% shield for Victoria. So kind of a lucky break right there, but we also got a lucky break of our own when the Sprightly came up to remove Fallon's smokescreen. So the Leviathan gets out. So this is ironic that we wanted Fallon to fizzle once we saw the shield, but you know, her Sprightly helped her out there. It's such a wrong time, and I wish that would happen in our other matches. But unfortunately, so she does hit, but she still has enough pips for a Stormlord. So we figure, you know what, I have the Ice Bubble up, I'm going to put up Blades, and we're going to wait until they send a Beguile on me, because right now I'm the tankiest player. I don't think their team could really do that much damage to me, and if so, I will go ahead and end up healing my team, if anything. So I'm thinking, I'm going to set up this Ice Bubble, and I'm going to set up some Blades, and Ronan's going to go ahead and continue to prevent their Storm player from playing. So he's going to put the Elemental Dispels up, actually on top of the Life player, to block off that Entangle so they cannot cleanse her for a Forest Lord attack or some sort. Or then, and ensuring that she cannot like dispel us, etc. So anyways, again, sticking to singles right here. Ronan's going to further blade me up, and we're just waiting and waiting for that Beguile moment to happen. Storm player does get a bladed attack off right here, Storm Lord. But also another reasoning for putting the Elemental Dispels not on the Storm player but the Life player was because that Storm, if he was going to hit, he's going to get rid of Fallon's Feint. And she already had a Storm Shield up, as you saw, so it didn't really matter if he hit or not. I mean, Ronan and I were going to take a lot of damage, but we are, you know, two of our tankiest players. Meanwhile, a Wraith comes in for Fallon, so it looks like they're aiming for just the low hit point player at this point. Victoria has to stall one turn to get rid of the Entangle, and here comes a bladed Scarecrow with an Amplify, and a critical blow comes off. Now, Cassandra does block it, Fallon does block it, and I think we all block it actually. Yeah, we all block that, but a bladed amplified Scarecrow, which potentially has a Gargantua on it. Now, the other death can hit as well, along with the Life player. So now we're thinking, okay, this is very dangerous at this point. Fallon is stunned from that Stormlord, and I've tossed a Sprite out to Fallon, assuming that they would end up killing her, or you know, if that Storm had to be critical or some sort. So I threw out a Sprite, which you know, gets a lucky critical right there. So now we're thinking, okay, now we have to get our heals off, and I'm gonna go ahead and keep my pips in case they do decide to beguile me, and use my bubble and my blades and a Gargantuan on a Snow Angel to hurt my own teammates. You know, I figure they have 2 deaths, why not? So the Life player does end up hitting here, so she is going to end up taking out Fallon. Now, the thing is, we noticed their pips, we looked at them, and we figured, you know what, if they're going to beguile us and whatnot, they're not going to beguile. I mean, the smartest move that they could have done was beguile Fallon, but she would have died anyways, or protect from a hit. So we realized, okay, so they're going to beguile one of us and try to kill, and basically they're going to try to kill Fallon. So we had both Ronan and Cassandra rebirth in case they played Life Dispels on either of us. So Cassandra gets a critical rebirth. That's going to heal their teammates, but that's okay. They didn't take they didn't take that much damage, other than my Frost Giant, but that had stacked Virulent Plague and a Plague on it, so it didn't really do much damage right there. So I place up let's see, a Conviction of my own. I don't want to get criticals on, noticing that they have a decent rate for that. But meanwhile, that Beguile does go in Cassandra, so now that gives us the advantage. It switches turns, and now Fallon can hit without being dispelled. I can hit without being dispelled or beguiled. Cassandra's also going to hit at this point, so she's gonna break off those absorbs that she put on the other side. So being a shield breaker for Fallon right here, she has a 40%, but that's okay. Her Chewy will be able to get through and get a little bit of damage through as well. So that's pretty good for having a Virulent Plague on her. So Cassandra with some decent damage, breaking off the absorb, breaking off another life shield on top of Victoria. All 4 absorbs will go down right here. So that'll set off some sprightlies. Meanwhile, Fallon and I have yet to attack. I have this bubble up along with 2 blades. Let's see what Ronan does. I believe he used Empower at this point, so he could build up his pips, so he'll be able to both Nova and throw up a Doom and Gloom next turn, should anything happen. So here comes the Stormlord, packing Punishment back into the first turn right here. So I mean, they did manage to kill off Fallon, but thankfully, thanks to Ronan and Cassandra both healing, they, no matter who they beguiled, Fallon would have been able to stay alive and keep her pips right there. So kind of a reinforcement heal. Meanwhile, I'm throwing out a double-bladed, bubbled, gargantuan Snow Angel into them right now. So that's doing 300, 500, 500, and 460 initial damage, and that's only 1/6 of the entire damage that it's going to set on these players. So huge damage right here. Ronan's going to go ahead and power get rid of the Virulent Plague and the regular plague, it seems. So actually, the Storm player was stunned by the Stormlord from Fallon at this point, so his conviction ran out, and now he's actually under that control. And I'm beguiled here once again, so this is kind of a little mistake on their part. I mean, I could play a Blizzard or a Doom and Gloom, not allowing them to heal. I'm wondering, what is Ronan's going to play? And notice that the bottom screen now shows the other team's cards, and I figured, you know what, they're all going to heal. We don't know who we can suppress heals on. We can't play Infections or Entangles on all of their players, so why not pop this Doom and Gloom instead, and that'll force them to heal into this, and they cannot get rid of my Snow Angel ticks. And I guess there's a little miscommunication between Ronan and me. He can't see what card I'm playing because I was beguiled, and so we ended up both playing that Doom and Gloom, which is kind of funny. I mean, he could have played a Nova instead of some sort, but I'm not going to complain here because that actually worked out. I mean, if I didn't have the Doom and Gloom, at least he had it. So that would have, ensured that they wouldn't have been able to heal. But those ticks are just strong enough to break through and knock out Valdus and Victoria right there. Valdus on the other side is about to go down. He's trying to throw out another beguile, but that's not going to take. And I've got my Blizzard set up here to do some extra damage. Ronan still has a double weakness on top of him, so he's not going to be. So I'm canceling out Valdus's beguile right there, even though the tick would have done that. Ronan's going to go ahead and hit with the Nova right here, so this will seal the deal for this match. That tick will end up taking out John. So I mean, this is heavy intensive on the manipulation spells with dispels, as you can see on top of Fallon, along with beguiles here and there, and a lot of weaknesses. But even though that's our style of play, it doesn't mean that that it's completely invincible. That there is a way to play against it, And so, as you can see, we got 0 rank out of this match, even though we we did some of the craziest plays that we've ever faced. And that was kind of the disappointing part, and part of the reason why we ended up creating more characters, why we created a TPC 2.0. We were starting to run into other players that were trying to either rank down, or there weren't any more high ranked players that that like to play at Warlord style, because it either took too long in the match, or it takes too long to wait for a match in the queue. So I mean, with all those reasons combined, we were running into fewer and fewer Warlord players. So we decided, let's not rank down. Let's not try to take advantage of the system at all. Instead, and this is all due to Ronan and Fallon's idea, let's go ahead and make new wizards. That in a way resets our entire records, and we get to play as a team, win as a team, and lose as a team, all together. No one's on their own. No one. I mean, all of our ranks are gonna match, and that's kind of one of the coolest things about this team. Is that we have some kind of uniformity, some kind of identity to ourselves, I guess, and just that special bond between us. To have 4 players who already have an ice storm balance in life at level 60, redo all those quests once again all together, and PvP from private to Warlord again. So that's kind of one of the challenges we've undergone, and that's the reason why we do want to save commentaries until TPC 2.0, because that's kind of like a rebirth of our own, um, starting from the beginning and leading up all the way back to Warlord and playing it all together. There isn't any issues with rank mismatches, etc. No player is too high and causing us to lose 25 rank if we happen to lose, or gain 0 rank if we win. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up, and you just have to wait until the videos get to the point where it's late August, because that's when TPC 2.0 actually does come out. So just wanted to do something a little special, and I hope a lot of you are actually finding an interest in PvP again. That's the sole reason why we're even releasing these videos. And it's to show that, hey, even though the arena can be kind of a shady and kind of a kind of a belligerent place, it shouldn't affect your entertainment value in the game. If you enjoy PvP, if you enjoy playing against other people without having to see exchanges of text or words or whatever, then continue doing so. So we hope that has encouraged a lot of players to once again pick up PvP or return or give it a chance. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed the commentary. Please subscribe, like the video, or comment below if you'd like to see some more, and we'll see you in the spiral. GG.